Tina.
And I'm Hope.
And welcome to the Fibre Morphics Podcast. Episode 5 now.
Yay! We're getting there. We're not such newbies.
Yes, we're getting used to it now.
Yeah. So I'm Hopi Dunks on Ravelry, and I am Hopi_Dunks on Instagram or the Fibre Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Violent on Ravelry and Sophie's on Instagram.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So what are you wearing?
I'm wearing one knitted item, and this is a really old project. Probably knit this when I was 16.
Yeah.
So it's a while ago. And I didn't know at the time, you can tell, I knitted in stockinette on 2 needles, and I didn't know that stockinette curled inwards when you knit it flat without a border. So this scarf, is meant to be about that wide, but is more like a little tube. So what I did was, when I finished knitting, I was like, what can I do to improve it?
Yeah.
How can I make it lie flat, or at least have the ends lying flat? So I did all this needle felting on it.
That is so cool.
Little fish there, and all these different little scraps of yarn, circles and stuff. And then the other end has like little felted spikes and more circles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which makes it a bit more colourful as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So would you consider doing picking up and doing an I-cord? How would that?
That would probably work. Actually, now that I know how to do that, that's a good idea.
Mm.
Yeah. Because I don't wear it very often.
Yeah.
It's more of a decorative piece than actually like a functional warm kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's quite nice though, because the bits that you look at are right here.
Exactly.
And they're the ones that are kind of fanned out. So
yes.
It's really nice.
Thank
cool.
You. What about you? What are you wearing?
Nothing. It's very hot outside. It's 20 plus degrees, and even this top is too hot. I chose the wrong thing to wear. But I am wearing a necklace, which is slightly unusual for me. I'm not so much in, I love necklaces. I have so many, but I don't tend to wear them that often because I get a bit of a sore neck. But this one, I couldn't resist buying it.
It's so colourful. I love it.
I know.
Yes.
It was in the sale last year in Acquisitions, and it's just heaps of different glass. I'll see if I can actually get it off to show you guys.
Oh no.
Drama. But that's it there. And I love the glass and the beads, and
it's so pretty.
Yeah, it's just really cool. So I'm trying to add more colour to my me. So this was a way to do it. So yeah, that's not handmade probably, but bought locally.
Yes.
Although probably not made locally, which sucks. But I'll work on it. Cool.
Okay. So we thought we should mention that we've opened a group.
Yes.
And some of you actually found it already. Good on you.
Yeah, well done.
So if you search on Ravelry for the Fibre Morphics group, you'll find us on there.
Yes.
And feel free to join our group and comment or ask us any questions. There's a few different threads in there. Yeah, what have we got so far?
We've got an introductions thread, which it would be great if you guys jumped in and told us a little bit about you, because we'd love to know who you are, what you do, and so we can kind of add that into our podcast.
Yeah.
We have an Ask Us Anything thread. So that's kind of ideas for our podcast. Or if you guys want to know anything about anything we've shown you, you can pop them in there. And we also have show notes. Where I'm trying to do show notes. I'm trying, guys.
You're doing a good job, I think.
So every episode that we have, I'm opening a new thread for that. Up the top will be all of the show notes with all of our links to all of our projects that we're doing and anything we've told you guys about. And then you can comment about anything within that podcast episode and ask us about things and hopefully generate a bit of conversation about that. I'm wondering if we should have a chatter thread, a general chatter thread.
We could.
I'm not sure. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below, and if you want a general chatter thread, then we're more than happy to put one up.
Yeah.
And if you want any other threads, put them up as well. And we are considering, we're not considering, we're going to do.
Planning it at the stage.
Yeah. A giveaway.
A giveaway, yes.
Because we're really having fun with this podcast. We're really enjoying it. And we kind of want to say thank you to you guys for being part of it and watching us and listening to us.
Yeah.
So unfortunately we can't thank each of you individually, but we can can do one. So I think it's going to be possibly something from me and something from Nina.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get that. We don't know what yet, but it is in the works.
It's in the pipeline, and it might be happening, start of next year.
Yes, so that's I think when it'll be drawn is the start of next year. So we'll work out how we're going to draw it, what's the criteria, all that kind of thing from now until then. So if you have any ideas for that as well, comment down below or pop over to the Ravelry group and have a look in there. So yeah, I think that's kind of our information at the moment. That's everything. Yeah. We've got a little bit of another segment that we're squishing in because as I'm sure some of you are aware, we are based in New Zealand and New Zealand has suffered a series of earthquakes. So where we are, we thankfully were unaffected. People were feeling it down here, so we're down the bottom of the South Island. The quakes did happen in the South Island, but they were more kind of up the top or near the middle. So thank you for all of the comments that people have been sending on Instagram and things. It's really appreciated and nice to know that you guys are concerned about us. But we just wanted to let you know that we are fine, but our thoughts are with friends and family who are in those areas, and hopefully things can kind of pick up and
get back to normal state. Eventually, I hope so.
So it's a big job for people, but everybody seems to be coping reasonably well at the moment, and people are being really good with helping each other out, which is fantastic. That's kind of what New Zealand is. We help each other out. So so just letting you know we're fine, and thank you very much for your thoughts, and please continue to think for the people who are in those directly affected areas.
Okay, moving on to whips. So for whips this week, I have a lot of stuff on the needles at the moment. I've picked up old projects that have been hibernating for ages. Okay, let's get into it. So first I have cast on another pair of socks, as you do.
Yes.
And these are, you might recognise the yarn from these.
I do.
This is Milton Woolen Mills that was hand dyed. Not sure by who.
Mrs. Biggles.
Mrs. Biggles, okay. Yeah. And this pink one here is dyed by you, and it's the same yarn. And really, they're just toe-up vanilla socks at the moment. I haven't really decided what I'm doing. Probably a heel flap. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
cool. And the Milton Woolen Mill has closed.
Has it really?
It has closed. Yeah. So New Zealand used to have a plethora of mills, and now we're down to 2.
Oh gosh, terrible.
So yeah, it's really sad. Milton was 45 minutes away from us, and I used to love going there and going around the shop, and you could get all these different fibres as well. I got soy, milk, and stainless steel fibre, and so that's all gone.
Such a shame.
Yeah, and a lot of yarn stores depended upon the mill because they would spin the yarns for the stores. So I know places like Touch Yarns, they're a New Zealand yarn company. They got most of their yarn spun through the Milton Woolen Mills. So it's had a big effect on the New Zealand industry. But I think it'll be closed for good because it's very expensive to reopen a mill, as I'm sure you're aware. But no more Milton yarn.
Oh wow.
But that's all right. We'll have the socks to remember them by.
Yes, true.
Okay. So whip number 2.
So I started a hat last podcast, and I've been on holiday, so I've actually gotten a lot of knitting done. So this is how much I've done since last time. I'm nearly finished, actually. So you can see I've done 3 repeats of the leafy lace pattern, and I'm nearly up to the crown decreases. So this is the foliage hat by Irina Dmitrieva, and I'm really enjoying this pattern so far.
Awesome.
I'll put a proper photo in. It's sort of, I don't know, the colour's kind of off right now, but you get the idea.
This is cool. And this is the yarn that you overdyed?
Yes, this is the yarn I overdyed.
Fantastic.
I've got one more skein left, so I should have heaps.
Yeah.
And I'm actually considering increasing the length of the hat because I like quite long, slouchy hats rather than more fitted beanies. So I might do that and use up the rest of my yarn.
Cool. So would you just do another repeat of the pattern? Or?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chart here. This is a free pattern, so I'm not really giving anything away. There's 4 repeats of the leaf pattern, but I might do an extra one and then do the decreases for the crown. But yeah, and I've tried it on. It fits really well.
Good. That is always my biggest worry with hats.
Yes, exactly.
Or with anything.
Hard to tell whether it's going to be
cool. Awesome. So we will also put those notes, a link to them in the Ravelry group. So if you want to knit the hat, there will be a link.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of unlayering because it's so hot.
It's so hot. Dunedin is not usually this hot. We're used to 15 degrees, on a good day, but 20 something today.
Yeah, and in this room, I swear we're hitting the 30s. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, we will move on. But
time to talk about warm woolly stuff, which is sort of the opposite of what you want to think about right now.
Yeah,
that's what we do. Okay. So next I have the shawl that I started last time. I made a bit of progress on this.
Cool. So this is the crochet shawl?
Yes, the key lime pie shawl by Knotty Gnome Crafts. I've got my crochet hook all caught up in there. No, here we go. This is how much I've done so far. I've done all the plain crochet section. Here you go. And I'm just about to start doing the chevrons.
Awesome.
And pattern's great. It's really simple and easy to read. And it's just a really nice, relaxing project to work on when you feel like doing something different. I haven't really done much on this, but it will be done probably by next time a podcast.
Awesome.
Because it's super quick to make.
Yeah. Crocheting is, isn't it? It's one of the good things about it.
Exactly. Not much else I can say about that one. Okay, next whip is one that I've shown up on the podcast before. Has been languishing because I hadn't got my needles through the post yet, but finally today, in fact, they arrived.
Yay!
So now I'm back on track with this lovely jumper, which is the Excuse Me sweater by Stephen West. So I haven't really done anything because I just got the needles today, but my plan is to finish the collar. And my next yarn will be this hand spun that I have here. And then once I'm down onto the yoke, away from my neck, I'll start using mohair because mohair is quite itchy on the skin. But it will be lovely and warm in winter, I reckon, to have a brioche mohair jumper. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into this project because it's really fun.
Yeah, and I'm loving your colours.
Thank you.
They are just fantastic. So it'll be cool when you add in another
different
yarn.
Colours. I have a lot of different colours. I have lots of greys and blacks and purples and blues and a whole host of colours.
Awesome.
So I'm interested to see how they'll play out. Through the jumper, and it's going to be fun to mix and match. Next project is one that I've been working on over the last 2 weeks, and I forgot to mention in the last podcast. When I was putting my show notes together and gathering my bag of projects, I completely missed it for some reason. So it's nearly done. Oops.
Wow.
So I've been crocheting this. I don't really know what it is, to be honest. It could be like a
shrug,
a baby blanket, or maybe it's more of a decorational piece because I thought about sort of draping it across the couch or maybe as a lap blanket, but it's just a way for me to use up old yarn, really.
It's really nice.
Didn't really know what to do with it.
You could almost, how women used to, with their ball dresses, if they had bare shoulders, have like a piece of fabric that went around like that. You could almost wear it like that. It's so cool.
It is actually getting long enough to do that. And the stitch pattern is just one that I've done before. It's like an interlocking shell stitch. So you can see it's a 2-row repeat. And I've used like 3 stripes of colours. So I've used, you can see the dark red and then a pinky colour and a greeny colour. And I've sort of gone through striping 3 different colours all the way through until you get to this bit, which is quite different. And it's a lot of my hand spun and a few different hand-dyed yarns that I've made recently. But it's good to use up some stash.
Yes.
Because when you hand spin things, quite often you only have one ball or something.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what else to use it with. So yeah, this is a good project
to
do that with. And it's using a 6mm hooks, which I dropped on the floor. Yeah. So that's that project. And I'm pretty much finished my yarn.
Yep.
I had a whole bag of stuff in here before, but I've gone through most of it, so it's nearly done.
Cool. And one more whip.
Yes, one more whip. Phew. Okay, so this is a project I started at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And I got really into it, and then I got so sick of it I couldn't look at it. So I put it aside for like the last 4 months or so. And I decided I really wanted to finish it. So this is my mammoth of a Fair Isle project. Where to start? This is where I cast on. And my basic idea was based on this scarf that I saw in Ravelry called the, what's it called? My Favourites? Something to do with, it's like a scarf that's knit in Fair Isle, and you choose all your favourite Fair Isle charts or Antarctica charts, and you chuck them together and you knit one whole long scarf with all your favourite, pictures in them. So what I've done is I've put things like a TARDIS, because I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. I put little elephants in. What else have I got? I've got fishes and spots, polka dots. And this is a sleeve, so it's actually like a wrap cardigan. And the pattern is called Coco by Iziz Sterling. And it says here that I started it in January this year. So this is the sleeve, one of the sleeves that I finished. So I've got like chevrons and more chevrons. Yeah. What else have we got?
It is so cool.
There's a lot going on, you could say.
Oh my gosh. And the back is so neat. I don't know if you want people to see this or not, but it is so neat in the back.
Yeah, no, have a look at the floats.
Look at those. Like how even they are. Oh my gosh. This is coming from someone who's just started with colour knitting. Mm-hmm. So this is just, wow.
In a lot of cases, I tried to use charts that only have 5 stitches of each colour, so they wouldn't have to do like extra wraps and twists in the back, which are really fiddly. But for example, on this TARDIS one here, I've had to do extra little twists. And because I'm knitting back and forth, I have to purl like the left hand, like the second row of a chart. I have to purl it, and that's actually quite complicated to get your head around. Yeah. Unless it's really geometric. So that's probably one of the reasons I got fed up with this project.
Yeah, I can totally understand that.
Whereas the sleeve, because it's knit in the round, you just go around and around and around with the knit side of the fabric, and it's a lot easier to do. Yeah. So where am I up to? I started the second sleeve here, and I will put a photo in of this because you can't really show it off on the screen very well.
You guys will not be seeing
it's sort of
the awesomeness that is.
Sort of a it's a very large cardigan in itself. So finished one sleeve, started the next one, and I'm about halfway through the second front. And I think my favourite pattern out of all of them is probably these leaves, actually.
They're really striking.
Like those. Yeah, good contrast between the purple and the black. And that's the thing with Fair Isle, you have to be careful with the colours you choose. Yeah. So something like this, where I've got purple and blue, is not really showing up very well because they're too similar. But something like that, with the herringbones there in red and black, turns out really nicely. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And the yarn is all Bendigo Woolen Mills yarn, which is an Australian yarn. When I went to Australia over last summer, I picked up quite a lot of yarn with this kind of project in mind. And it's all just 8 ply. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to finish this before next autumn and actually get some wear out of it.
I have to hold you to it.
Yes, you'll have to egg me on.
Yeah.
I think, a bit of pressure would do me good.
No. Oh, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing it finished and you wearing it.
I can't wait to wear it, actually. Yeah.
So my whips, I have got 4, which, shouldn't have cast on more, but I did. The first one is a pair of socks. So this is from some yarn that I finished a pair of socks.
Yeah,
and I
recognised it.
Yeah, I had a little bit of yarn left over, and so I'm trying to use up what I can in some socks, and I'm attempting something like just look at my notes for a minute, the Rose City rollers, but I'm trying to do a toe up, because the Rose City rollers are top down.
Yeah, cup down.
Yeah, so kind of trying to use her same theories and things, but doing them from the toe up, because that way I can use the most of my yarn. So these are a cast on that we did a wee while ago, Judy's Magic cast on, and then just standard increases, and that is what they are looking like at the moment. So I've only got one, but I'm trying to do one toe of one and then do the toe of the other one, and then do the foot of one and then the foot of the other one, because otherwise I end up with second sock syndrome or one sock syndrome, whatever it's called. I end up with it.
Yes.
So this is kind of my way around it and trying to prevent that happening.
I think it works quite well doing that, actually. I've found it.
Yeah.
It helps if you do one, in tandem.
Yeah.
Get there in the end.
So we'll see. And this is the project bag that I made 2 weeks ago. So
perfect size.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. So I will keep it at the moment and see if I can get more than one sock in it. And if I can, it'll become a mini sock bag. But if I can't. Cool. So my second whip is another pair of socks. And these ones are a pattern that I'm working on, which are a top-down, just plain vanilla socks. But I didn't have enough yarn of either colour to make two pairs.
I know what you mean.
The heat's getting to me.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, why don't I do mixed-matched socks? So it's a pattern that I'm working on, and hopefully soon I will see if I can get some test knitters and get the pattern out to you guys.
Awesome.
It's really easy. It's just 2 contrasting colours. So far I've got green and blue, and this is kind of what I've done. It's just a slip stitch heel and a gusset, and then the reverse on this one. So I'm enjoying it so far. I'm knitting them magic loop because I don't know, I can't make up my mind between magic loop and DPNs. I can't.
You like both of them.
Yeah. I think doing toe up on magic loop is a bit easier, especially with Judy's Magic cast on. Don't attempt that on DPNs. It is a nightmare. Right. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm getting a lot of gappy stitches from where I've moved around on these. So that's frustrating me, but I'm hoping that blocking will bring it out.
Blocking should, yeah.
Yeah, because all my other stitches are even. So fingers crossed. But yeah. So this is using Happy Feet yarn, which I used to like, but at the moment it's splitting a bit and it's just not as thick as it used to be. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll use it again. We'll see. It's a really nice cheap yarn. You can get a pair of ankle socks out of one ball, and one ball's $5. So it is a really good price and everything, but yeah, I'm just not sure. We'll see. So look, keep an eye out for these, and when I do need testers, I will pop it up in our Ravelry group. And if you want to make them, give me a yell. So my next work in progress is the building blocks towel. Yeah. It's taken forever. And I don't know if I like it anymore. I feel like I'm running a marathon with it. And it's just never ending.
I know what you mean.
And I am keeping myself from making the large
size.
I didn't do it. I don't know if I've really gotten any further since when I showed you guys last. But
what colour are you up to now?
I'm up to pink.
Oh, you're up to
it's
pink.
A solid pink. and I'm almost done with solid pink. I had a road trip 2 weeks ago and I did some, but it's over half an hour a row right now, and I'm not a slow knitter.
No.
And yeah, I think I'm really going to enjoy it when I get it off.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. I love the shape, and
I like the way your colours are worked out together.
Yeah.
I think they look great.
Yeah, they're not what I expected, but I'm really liking them. So I'm eager to wear it, but I'm not eager enough to finish it. But I need my needles as well. I'm finding there are heaps of other projects that I need these needles for.
Right.
So I do need to finish it. So I'm hoping, I'm going to set myself a goal that before Christmas I will have this done.
Right. That's a realistic goal.
Yeah. So we'll see. If I don't do that, then I don't know. Think of a punishment, because it needs done. And we can't have a non-completed object. I just can't. It's taking up too much space. And my needles. So so that is that one. Not much progress, but it is what it is sometimes. So my fourth work in progress is this one here. I've been just struggling a bit this week, and I decided I needed something really bright to knit. So you'll remember this yarn that I dyed.
Oh yeah.
Quite a while ago.
Yes.
So I decided to call the trio Koi, because it reminded me of the Koi cup. The orange and the teal remind me of it. So yeah, I've been looking for something that I could use 3 colours in. I wanted kind of a shawl, because if I knitted the wrong size, it didn't matter, it would still fit, which is my biggest worry. And I've been looking, and then Oblivious Knits, I think she's called. I will double check that and put it down here. She had a gratitude thing where she had 50% off her patterns, I think, with a code. And so I managed to get one of her patterns, and that one is the Marshall shawl. So it's a 3-colour one with short rows. And I thought, well, short rows will keep me entertained. It is all garter, which is actually quite nice, because my mind doesn't need to be complicated right now. So I bought that and I cast it on. And I only cast it on, what are we today? Are we Friday?
This Friday.
Yeah, okay. I only cast it on Wednesday night. And it's knitting up quickly.
Oh wow, you've done heaps.
Yeah. So that's what I've got so far. And I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I like how it's knitting up, but there is some kind of puckering here. It's not quite sitting flat, but blocking should block that out.
Is that just the cast on that's kind
of
tight?
I think I cast on too tight. I cast on really tight. I'm willing to admit that. So hopefully when I block it, it'll block out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The yarn is so nice to knit with.
Yeah.
So this yarn I got in
great.
Hokitika, and it's just, it's fantastic. It's so smushy, and it's quite filled up.
Springy even.
Yeah.
It's dense. Like the fabric is dense,
Yeah.
but it's nice and drapey at the same time.
Yeah. So I'm thrilled with it, but it is a lot smaller than I thought, because I'm halfway through and it's tiny.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and I've hardly used any yarn, but I don't know if that's because I have used the wrong needle size. It recommends a 4, and to get a bigger shawl, you can go to a 4.5. And so I was just like, I won't gauge swatch. Like, who does that? So I might end up just repeating the pattern and getting some more colours down the bottom to make it bigger.
Yeah.
Because I really am enjoying it. And I don't want to be ripping that out. And I'm using different needles. I'm trying out some Knit Pro interchangeables. Yeah, I bought these a while ago for a jumper, and they never got used for the jumper because it's a very long story. So I thought I would try and use them for this. And so far, they're very nice to knit with.
Yeah.
They are very nice to knit with. So I'm thinking that once I've finished this, I may video a bit of a review for you guys and tell you what I thought of them, because I hadn't seen very many, and I've got a bit to say.
I see.
It's good. It's good things. It's good things. But yeah, so that's my one there, and it's the Marshall Shawl by Oblivious Knits, and I will link it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And I forgot to show you guys about my project bag. So this is my project bag here. It's just a simple square, plain on the back, and purple inside. And this is really special for me because this is one of the things that my mum taught me to sew. So when she taught me to sew, we went to Spotlight together and we got a pattern that was really basic, and she had some fabric like remnants, and we used that, and this is one of the things that she helped me knit. So I'm finally putting it to use because I always claimed that it was going to be my book bag for the library, and I haven't been to the library in years. So it never got used as a book bag. But yeah, I'm finally putting it to use, and I'm really enjoying it. So.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's just so shiny.
Yeah, beautiful.
So hopefully, I might have to go and kind of raid my mum's material and see if she's got any more, and if she's still got the pattern, because it's really, really nice. I really like it. So, yeah, that's my project bag. So moving on to whips. Nina has one that I don't have. And I should have.
Yeah,
so that gives you a clue.
No, it's okay because I knit the small size, right? So, and in fact, I cast off my building box cal before I got to the end of the small size because I just couldn't stand the bloody thing anymore. So here it is. It needs to be blocked, but I cast this off yesterday and I wove in all my ends. And you can see. So the small size ends after one more repeat after this plain red one here. So I've skipped one. But the rows were just getting very, very tedious. And it's actually really long as it is. Like I'll show you now. I can wrap it around my neck.
Do you know how many stitches it was?
I really don't know. To be honest.
I don't want to know.
Just make it in, please. Please. Before we go mad. But yeah, as you can see, it is.
It looks really nice.
It's a really good length, as it is. I wouldn't want to have it any bigger because it would drag on the ground.
You don't need any more volume either. Like, because if you had it longer, you'd need to loop it again.
Exactly.
And that's just too many problems.
And it'd be a bit too heavy, even.
Yeah.
So what can I say? The bind off is curling, but I have a feeling that's because it needs a good blocking. So you can see on the knit stitch panels that it's rolling forwards, and then on the purl sections it's rolling back, and you can't really see it. But I like the bicord bind off.
Yeah. Could that also be because the last section would have been garter?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Actually,
so that would have flattened it out.
That would have flattened it.
Yeah. But blocking will solve that. Blocking solves everything.
It's like a cure-all for knitting.
It is. It's like if your baking goes wrong, you just put cream on it. It's a multitude of sins, so I'm told.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Works for cracked pavlova every time. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you happy with your colour choices?
Yes, I am happy with my colour choices.
I love them.
I think, I wasn't incredibly in love with this one here, this multicoloured one, but over time I've come to actually appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I like the contrast I have between the minty green and the darker colours.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad it's done and I can forget about it, and I will actually enjoy wearing it. It's just the whole process of the pattern. I just really did not enjoy it. I wouldn't knit it again. Not if it paid me. So
I can understand.
Let's move on to something else, and maybe something in a thicker yarn.
Or cotton, so it's not hot.
Maybe a cotton would be good. Maybe we need to get some cotton or linen yarn to work with.
I like bamboo.
Yeah.
Or I was in Knit World today. That's our local yarn store. It's Knit World. Well, we've got two, but I go to Knit World. And they've got a yarn that's made from recycled jeans.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so may have to try that at some point. It's also made in England, so
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Might be a little bit cooler.
Okay.
So my finished projects, I have 2. Woohoo! I know! What the heck's going on? So this one was the one I cast off first, and I'm sorry I've worn them. I wasn't going to wait. I was cold, and I was happy I had them. But these are from a knit-along that we did together quite a while ago.
Yeah,
and I never finished them.
But you have now.
I have. They are the toe-up faux heel flap fingering weight socks. I don't have. Oh, by Leah Gate. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But I'll put all the info in the notes where it's at. So this is it here. I used an opal yarn, and I'll put up the kind. And that is it. The only thing that I am disappointed with is there's so much right here across the heel and instep.
Wow, there is actually.
It is massive.
It is so wide. And then it comes in at the cuff.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't make sense.
Does it fit your foot well, or is it a bit gapey?
It is gapey, but I mean, because, let me see if I can flatten this out so you guys can see. It's like that. It balloons in the middle.
It's massive.
Like, what's going on?
It's strange.
So I do not understand. Maybe my... But I'm just thinking maybe my gusset was too much, but then I had the same amount of stitches here as I do here.
Right.
So why that has happened, I don't know. So if anyone can tell me, I would really appreciate it. Because I really like them otherwise, but boy, have they felted.
Yeah, straight away by the look of it.
Okay, this is a bit of an admission from me. I will wear hand-knitted woolen socks for longer than normal socks without washing them.
That's all right. I do that too, actually.
Okay, thank goodness.
Not the only one.
Yeah, because like normal socks, I chuck them in the wash after each wear. But I've found that hand-knitted socks, like, they don't smell, and so you know.
And you have to wash them by hand usually anyway. So why wash them every time you wear them? Yeah,
so I'll kind of give them 2 or 3 wears before I wash them. But I've worn these 3 times, and this is how matted the heel is. It's crazy matted.
Like a stitch pattern, like a
There used to be like a broken seed stitch pattern, and you can't even see it. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the shoes I've been wearing them in. I don't know. But
have you knit socks with that kind of yarn before?
I've used opal before, but this was like a different opal. The actual yarn base was different. And I really enjoyed knitting it because the stitch definition was really nice. It filled out really well. But that felting is just nuts. And even in the toe, like
that's
I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is 0 stitch definition.
Exactly.
So I will see how they wear. I mean, I'm not overly concerned with felting in my socks because I figure it makes them stronger in those areas. But aesthetically, it
doesn't look so nice.
No, it doesn't. And the only other thing, I've got hairs everywhere. The only other thing I did different was I did a surprisingly stretchy bind off for the cuff because I often find that my bind offs are too tight. I don't know if I'd do it again because it's so floppy. So I don't know.
So it's a bit too loose at the top?
Yeah. Because my ribbing is never tight. I don't know what it is, but it's something between when I transition from a knit to a purl, I get gaps. And I have tried everything, and I can't rectify it. So if you guys have any ideas of what I could do differently, I'm totally up to changing how I knit. Because I don't get any... You can see it there. I mean, that's wider than my actual stockinette. So,
true.
A little bit frustrating. I think that there was a bad move on my part. That wasn't part of the pattern. Yes, I don't think I'll do it again. I think I'll just bind off loosely in a normal fashion. But other than that, I've really enjoyed wearing them. They have actually been quite comfy. I have been wearing them in shoes that have a bit of a cuff. So I think that's been holding them up and stopping them slip, which is good because they would slip otherwise. But yeah, so that is that one. And my second FO is yet again socks. These are my CD60s socks.
I remember these.
So this was a new yarn in Knit World. It's called Nako Boho, and it is about $5 cheaper than the opal on average. And And I thought, well, you know what, why not? I'm a broke student. I'll give it a go. If it gives me kind of a feralish look, and it's cheaper and it knits up as nice, then I'll try it. And so far, I think it's all right. You can
I love
have a
that
look if
pattern.
you like.
So
Yeah,
cool.
So the actual knitting pattern is one that my friend sent me. So thank you very much, Shayna, for the knitting pattern. I really appreciate it and I love it. It's fantastic. And your directions alongside the pattern were brilliant. So thank you very much for that. The only adaptation, I don't know if that's the right word, but thing that I did was I used a German twisted cast on, or maybe it's called a German cast on or a twisted cast on. One of the two. I'm sure you guys know what I'm on about. But that's made it stretchy up here, which I really like. And then, actually, I may have just solved my prior problem. I used a twisted rib.
A twisted rib opposed to a normal rib.
And it's tighter.
It is tighter.
I'll just show you for comparison here.
Yeah.
Between that and that, which one looks tighter? Obviously. So maybe that solved my problem. I don't know how that works, but if that works, twisted rib all the way.
Yeah, maybe you should do that from now on your cuffs. Yeah.
And then it's just a slip stitch heel, and I did it. Kitchener. Yes,
grafting.
I did it, and I didn't screw it up. The first toe that I grafted was appalling. It looked like someone had run over my foot. Like, it was, seriously, it was so horrible. I'm never showing you guys. I'm just hoping that felt really, really well. So I'm so happy because I hated top-down socks because I couldn't do the toes. And now I may be doing top-down socks a lot more. So,
excellent.
Yeah, that's those. I love them. And yeah, I'm gonna look for some more of the Nako Boho yarn because
it's
fantastic.
Colours.
Yeah, they're quite kind of 70s colours.
Yeah,
which is quite cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give them another go and see what happens. Our shortest segment of the podcast is spinning.
And we have done absolutely zero.
Yep. I'm gonna blame the weather.
Yeah, too warm.
Even though we've had torrential rain the past 2 days.
Yeah, no, we have, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been bad enough handling yarn, let alone handling for fleece.
Fibre, yeah.
It just hasn't happened. Yeah. So dyeing.
I have done none. Sounds like you have.
But you've been on holiday, so you have
a
very good excuse. So I have been going through my stash. And I discovered a hashtag on Instagram, and it's Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. And so I was going through there and looking at my stash and going, what can I gift? Because I have yarn that's just lying there. I'm not using it. And do I have a project for it? If I don't have a project for it, why do I have it? So, I've been going through my stash and trying to find things that I could grant other people's wishes with. Turns out that we don't have access to much yarn here in little old New Zealand.
We're kind of limited in all this beautiful yarn that everyone else shares on their podcast. Yeah. And we can only dream of, acquiring some and using some. So.
Yeah. So I haven't been able to grant too many, but I've been able to give away patterns and some other things and some hand knitted things. So that's been cool. But in my stash busting attempt, I found some sock yarn that I had been given, but it was beige. And I don't know. I just didn't want beige socks.
It's pretty dull, isn't it?
So I decided I'd have a go, and over dyeing it. I'm sorry, it is boiling hot in this room.
Warm in this room.
We've got the windows open, and it's not helping. No. So if we go crazy, this is what heat does. Not good. Anyway. Yes. This is what I did. So I over-dyed it, and
You got speckles.
I did. I know, and the thing was I wasn't even trying.
Yeah,
which is
happy accident.
Yeah, so what I did was I used Ashford acid dyes, and I put in black to begin with to give me the grey, and then I sprinkled, after that it all exhausted itself, I sprinkled some hot pink and some emerald on opposite sides of the pot, and I don't know. It just didn't seep through. It did a little bit, like there's some seepage there.
Yeah.
But it seems to have speckled reasonably well.
It's quite clear.
Yeah.
Like you've got little dots going on there. I like it.
I do wonder if the speckling's only in the first layer of yarn, and if you get deeper into the skein, there isn't any.
Mm-hmm.
But it will make whatever I make really random.
That's really soft, squishy yarn.
I know, it's so nice, isn't it?
What's the fibre content of that? Do you
know? I think it's just 80-20, so 20% nylon and 80% wool.
Mm-hmm.
But I threw out the tags. Okay, stupid. But it is Peyton's yarn, so Peyton's sock yarn. So if you can get your hands on Peyton's sock yarn, it's really nice. So so that was one skein, and then this is my other skein. And I'll pop up pictures of these. It's gonna. Is it gonna focus? But this one was pink, so I tried the pink, and then I just chucked in some emerald and see what it does. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy with them because I never would have used them the colour that they were. And I was contemplating just turfing them to an op shop because I didn't know what to do with them. Unless you're going to knit like a mini human, it just isn't going to happen. But I have seen that Knit Your Own Boyfriend book. There's a book. I think I need it. It's Knit Your Own Boyfriend.
What, like a miniature?
Like a miniature, yeah, like a doll-sized boyfriend.
Okay.
Not a real life proportioned thing. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Although that kind of would be quite cool, like having just a knitted man in the corner. Not very helpful, but kind of cool. But yeah, so unless you're going to do that book, there wasn't really much point. But yeah, so I'm happy with those, and they were relatively easy. So yeah, that's
just one question about that. When you're dyeing something that isn't pure wool, do you think that it absorbs the colour quite as well because of the nylon content?
I actually think it is a bit brighter. So I think it takes on a little bit better. So it's like, you know, when you look in the wool shops and you see the acrylics and they're horrible yarns.
They're usually very, very bright.
Yes.
Maybe a bit too bright.
Yeah, whereas natural wools, you can never get that brightness to them.
It's more subtle, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think that it is actually a little bit brighter. But one thing that I learnt last week was if your wool has been descaled, which makes it machine washable, then you can heat it to a higher temperature. And I think that by heating it to a higher temperature, you can get yarn into it. Get the dye further into it, so it gets into those fibres more. So I think that may be what happened here. Whereas unscaled yarn, or yarn that hasn't been descaled, you can't heat it above, I think it's 93 degrees, otherwise it'll felt and go horrible. Right. There's my top tip for the week. But yeah, I think it's actually come out a little bit brighter. But also it was beige to begin with, so if it had been white, it would have been even brighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm happy with those.
Acquisitions this week. Hope did a clear out of her sewing patterns, and she kindly gifted me these two here. So this is a little two-piece set for a little girl, and this is perfect because I really like making clothing for my niece, and she's 3 years old, so she fits most kids' clothes. That's a cute little Simplicity pack. And this one is another Simplicity one. They're both vintage, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're not really sure about how old they are.
I think we should say... Oh, so this one here is 73.
73?
Yeah.
And this one's 75, so there you go.
Yeah.
70s. Very cool.
Yeah.
So with the jacket and pants and skirts. Yeah, with the really wide lapels. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Perfect for brooches. Love it. But no, I was gifted them by an elderly lady one time, and beautiful, beautiful patterns, but just all the wrong sizing for me. So I've kept them in the hope that I would learn to adapt them, but it hasn't happened, and I kind of figure if other people can get use out of them, then that's good. So the rest of them all went up to Christchurch to a lecturer at the design school.
Oh, right.
So that was really cool. So lots of students will get use of them, and and get to try them out. But I did keep one, and the pattern paper is phenomenal. Like, you know the pattern paper now, it just rips.
It's really flimsy, some of it. Yeah.
This stuff is brilliant. It is so good.
It's well made.
It's a little bit thicker, and you will be able to reuse it. That's different.
Is it different?
Oh, wow. The pattern that I used
is fairly tough.
Yeah, these ones are different. Okay. It just totally blows what I said. But this is more like baking paper, though, isn't it?
It is. I find that modern patterns, the paper is more likely to tear if you put pins to it, or if you fold it, it's more likely to tear. So, vintage patterns are good in that way, that they use quality materials.
Oh, so my acquisitions this week, I had a meeting to attend at work, and I was really, really early because I wasn't sure about where I could park and all this kind of thing. So I went for a walk, and I went past an op shop. I don't know if you've been there. It's the can shop. Op shop. Oh, no, it's in, do you know the church? Union Rugby Pitch?
No.
Oh, okay. No, so it's in this old church, and it's all of the proceeds go towards, I think it's cancer research and things. But it's really good. I like it. And I went for a wee browse, and I found some beads.
They're pretty.
Yeah. So let's try and pop them down. But there's that one. So they're glass, and then there's like
so pretty
other stuff in the glass.
Shiny inside. Yeah.
It's like a foil in the glass.
Nice.
But I love them, and they're too big for stitch markers. So
yeah, they're a bit too heavy. Aren't they? Yeah. Weighty.
But I thought maybe like keychains from project bags or something like that. So
as decoration.
Yeah. So they're just really neat, and they were only, I think, 50 cents for the 3 small ones, and then $1.50 for the 3 big ones. So, you
gotta love op shops.
Gotta love them.
They are the best.
Yeah, especially in Dunedin at times when exams finish, because all of the students go, oh my gosh, I've accumulated way too stuff during the year, check it out.
And they all get rid of it. And you can buy lots of really good stuff for cheap.
Yeah, which is fantastic. So, yeah, that's one of them. And then the other one, Spotlight has a sale on, guys.
Yeah. Check it out.
Block your ears if your credit card's screaming at you. There's about 20% off most fabrics, not all, most. And they have a deal on Butterick Simplicity and Quick Sew patterns, which are 3 for $15. And no, I'm not being paid to advertise this. I just remembered it all because I was like, oh my gosh, I must remember this. And it's on to the 4th of December, as far as I'm aware. But don't quote me on that one.
I'm sorely tempted to go there now.
Yeah.
And get some sewing patterns.
Yeah. But they also sent me a voucher in the mail.
Did they?
So they're like, if you spend $100, we'll take $40 off. And I'm like, you guys are enabling. Like, you're having a sale and a voucher.
That's terrible.
Like, why are you doing this to me?
They know our weaknesses, don't they?
They really do. They know how to tap into it. So I bought some patterns for T-shirts and some culottes. I really want to make culottes. So I bought that and some, I'm not going to knit them with a sewing pattern. Oh, good Lord. I bought fabric to sew things.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. So go to Spotlight. Go find something.
Sorry about the noise.
There's a motorbike outside. And I think he's breaking the 50k speed limit. But we've got the windows open because we're sweltering.
And cool breeze is a good idea.
Yeah, it's just a little bit noisy. Yeah. So sorry about that, and sorry for any other noises you've heard during the podcast. There's traffic outside. So on to other crafts.
Yeah, what have you got today?
This week, well, as you just heard, I went to Spotlight. And this is one of the things that I made.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
T-shirt.
You're getting back into the sewing, aren't you?
I am. I'm giving my sewing machine one last chance at life because I hate it. But yeah, it's cactus. Like, how can I not buy cactus fabric?
Yeah.
So if any of you follow my Instagram feed, Hopi_dunks, you will see that cacti and succulents are the only things that I can keep alive.
Yeah, you're a fan.
I am a big fan. So, yeah, I could not go past this fabric. But I even have this written down for you guys. I used a butterick pattern, which is number 3383, and I cut out the size medium, which was a 12 to 14, because I have really, really wide shoulders and no waist. So I'm normally about a 12. But it's too big and too short. So I don't know what is going on here. But if I hold this up, I have it up here, like, look at how much belly I would be showing. Like, I don't do that.
Short.
Like, no one wants to see my tummy. Like, so I'm thinking I might go in and get some really thick lace and sew that around the bottom so that I can still wear it. But it's also about this much too wide either side.
Wide.
Yeah. So, but I found out the medium is a 12 to 14, and a 14 would definitely be too big for me. So, yeah, a little bit gutted, but it's okay. I've now cut the pattern down to a size 10, and I have elongated the body. So next time that I do it, it'll hopefully be okay. But I don't have an overlocker or anything.
Yeah.
So for all of my seams, I stitch them twice.
With a zigzag or?
No, I just plain stitch twice, but also the fabric rolls out over it.
Oh, I see.
So I'm figuring that'll cut.
It's unlikely to fray, I guess.
There we go. Yeah. And then all of my hems, I did a rolled hem. So I rolled it up once, rolled it up again, and top stitched twice. I did actually buy binding tape for it, but I bought the wrong size. I bought like 1/4 inch binding tape, which I don't even know what someone would use that for. I don't know why it exists. So, but that's that there. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I've never sewn. Well, I've sewn a t-shirt before, but not one like this. And my machine and I actually got along really well. So I'm pretty stoked with this. And I'll chuck a picture up afterwards. But yeah, so that's that one, and I have enough fabric to make another one, so that'll be good.
Awesome.
And then my other craft was I baked a cake, which doesn't sound like a craft. Baked a cake.
I think you could count it as a craft. Baking.
That I iced it. So I make cupcakes, and I love icing them, which is kind of ironic because I hate eating icing. Unless it's cream cheese icing.
Okay.
I will eat cream cheese icing by the bowl, but any other icing, I hate it. So it's kind of funny that I enjoy piping it. But I had a lady approach me and ask if I would make a ladybird cake. So I made one out of royal icing, and I will put a photo of it in again. But I considered it crafty. You know, whether it is or not, I considered it to be. So that's the other thing that I made. So out and about in Dunedin.
So yeah, I went on a holiday this week. I just came back from it today.
Cool.
So we went down to Taieri Mouth, which is about 40 minutes south of Dunedin.
Yeah.
It's on the Taieri Gorge. It's on the coast where it meets the sea. And there's an island out there that you can walk to at low tide.
Cool.
So we waited until about 4 in the afternoon for low tide. And me and my dad and my partner, we walked out to the island, and it was a pretty miserable day, I have to admit. So we were wearing raincoats and wearing gumboots. But when we got out there, we saw seals. They were snoozing on the rocks, and we saw cormorants, and there's a lot of seagulls nesting on there.
Yep.
But there were also these 2 people, one on a jet ski, and they were diving for power. I guess diving onto the island and getting power shells.
Yeah.
And they actually offered us some. We're like, no. We'll be
good. You didn't take them?
No.
Oh my gosh, I love power.
Are they good? Oh.
They are so good. So power is, I guess it's the Australian equivalent of abalone. Is that what you guys call
mother
it?
of pearl abalone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll bring along a shell next week actually, and I'll show you a power shell. But it's basically a giant mussel inside this shell. And Oh, it is so good. So what we do when we get PowerShell is we mince it up and we make power patties.
Right.
And you don't need to add anything to it. Like I think a little bit of flour and an egg.
Yeah.
That's all that we add. And it's, oh my gosh.
Really tasty?
It is divine. It's quite a strong taste. So you have to like the taste. But yeah, they are phenomenal. I can't believe you turned it down. Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of seafood. So
that's fair
I probably
enough.
wouldn't have liked the taste of it.
Yeah.
Like mussels or anything. So.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fair enough. Yeah. But they're so expensive in town. Like for a minced, it's not even a power. It's like half a power is like $20.
Whoa, okay.
So I don't eat it unless I'm down on my friend's farm. Yeah. I don't eat it. But yeah, it's good. If you get the chance to try it, try it. Yeah, sorry, I've interrupted your story. There was a guy diving for power shells.
He was diving for power shells. And we saw some seals, and one of the seals unfortunately was frightened off, so it swam off into the sea. But there's also like this channel of water. And my partner, he didn't actually bring any gumboots with him, so he had his sneakers. And so I said, Dad, why don't you give him a piggyback across the channel? So he did. It was a laugh. It was hilarious to watch. I just put some footage in of that, of the island, of actually on the island. And so that's our out and about for this week. And I think, because it's summer now pretty much, we'll probably have more excursions and trips and holidays to record. So more interesting stuff coming your way.
Yeah. And I had one. I haven't really done anything this week. So, but 2 weeks ago, it was actually the day after we recorded, my local yarn store had a trip to Alexandra and Clyde. Yeah. And so we went and visited Touch Yarns, and we went to their dye studios, and we went to their shop, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I didn't actually want to go. I was so worked up about going. I'm not good in social situations, and I freaked out, and so I was like trying to give my mum my ticket and all this kind of thing because I was so worried that I would just end up a mess. But the ladies that I went with were fantastic. I had a really good time, and I have written a blog post about it. So by the time that we get this up, hopefully my blog post will be up. So instead of talking about it, I'll just let you read it, and I'll pop a few photos in here as well. But you can find that at www.thefibrealchemist.wordpress.com. And it was fantastic. It was great to see how the yarns were actually dyed, because I've seen them, I've bought them, I've used them, but to actually see the process of a commercial dyeing business was really, really cool. And I got to have some really good talks with the guy that does all the dyeing, and it was nice to be able to talk to someone who, like, you understand their craft, and so you kind of bond on that level because, dude, I get it.
So, something in common.
So that was really fun, and we went to the gardens in Alexandra, and we found some blue poppies, which I was excited about. I think there must be a hybrid, but yeah, I was excited about that. And then we went to the Clyde Dam as well. So I've got some photos of that as well. But yeah, that was my out and about. And I have an update on the seal that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that seal.
Yeah, the one that keeps coming up onto the road.
What's happening with him?
So on my drive-in, I've got to drive around the harbour to get here. And we drove along, and there was like congestion of people on the sidewalk because we've got the harbour, a sidewalk, road. And there was this congestion. We're like, what's going on? And we looked, and he's just lying there on the pavement. And I think because it's been so cold, the sun's been out, the pavement's warm, and he's just basking in it. And he had his wee flipper up and he was waving to people, and this guy like walked around him. And there was this other woman who was like on her bike on the phone, obviously to the DCC, going, "Oi, there's a seal here and I can't get past." I don't blame her because I wouldn't have wanted to be that close to him either.
No.
But yeah, it was pretty cool to see. I think he was just enjoying the heat.
Just relaxing.
Yeah. So that's what's happened with the seal this week. We should name him so that people know who we're talking about. Sammy the seal.
He's a bit of a character.
He is. He's awesome. So yeah, but that's me for this week.
That's about it for this week.
Cool.
We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with another podcast.
Yeah, so make sure to check out our Revelry group. We would love to find out a little bit about you and let us know what you think about our podcast. We'd love to hear what you think. So, yeah, please pop over there, say hi, and, Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Yes, thank you.
Really appreciate it. And, kind of drawn a blank with everything else. We're melting. But hopefully you have great weather wherever you are.
Yes.
And may your stitches be even and have fun.
And we'll see you soon.
Going somewhere with that. I'll have it down there next week.